Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I am so very glad that you decided to join me today. I have a post-workout yoga flow for active recovery and nice deep stretching. Now, if that sounds good to you, roll out your mat, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Sending that right foot back. Now we're going to warm up the shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, spine, basically everything with our happy elephants. So heel toe your feet out a little bit wider, extend your arms out to a T, spread the fingertips and give them a wiggling out. And then we'll twist to one side. We'll untwist and twist to the other, lifting our back heel as we do so. And we'll let the arms swing as we twist side to side. Now we'll start to let the arms run out of momentum and come to rest by our sides. We'll move to our mountain pose. Bring the heels underneath the hips, pick up the toes, spread them out wide, and set them down. We're going to grip the toes in, so we're drawing in on the toes in towards the middle of the foot. We'll lift the shoulders up to the ears. We'll work them back and then down the spine, drawing the shoulders as far from the ears as we can as we reach tall through the top of the head. And we'll take a few deep breaths here, really pressing into our toes, finding that long spine. Maybe even tucking the hips forward slightly. With our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead. Exhale, we'll move to our cactus pose, drawing the shoulder blades in together at the spine. Spread the fingertips out wide. Inhale to send the arms back up. Exhale, we'll hinge at the waist and bow the chest forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Now pressing into the toes, flattening out the back, reaching forward with the top of the head. And with our exhale, we'll hinge and bow forward again. Taking a little bit of time to wiggle out here to help us soften, to settle into this pose. Maybe you pedal out the legs or swivel out the hips. Maybe you grab for opposite elbows and find a sway side to side. With your next in-breath, move back to that halfway lift. Again, flattening out the back, reach forward with the top of the head. Exhale, we'll fold forward again. This time, reverse swan diving the arms. Reach the arms out to the sides. We'll lift up from the chest and the arms to the sky. Exhale to our cactus pose. Maybe this time we slide the eyes up the wall in front of us slightly for a baby back bend. Inhale to reach the arms towards the sky. Exhale, hinge and bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands down. We'll step, hop, or float the feet back for our plank pose. Exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the mat. We'll slide the hands up and out. So they're just past the top edges of our mat. Press into the toes, squeeze the glutes. With an in-breath, we'll put light weight in our fingertips, leaving the center of the hands hollow as we lift the chest. Make sure you're using your back, so you're finding length through the top of the head, and not all of our work is being done with our fingertips. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, lower back down. And we'll find 2 more breaths like this. Inhale to lift, squeeze the glutes, reach long. Exhale to soften. And one more time. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower back down. We'll slide the hands underneath of the shoulders, tuck the toes under. We'll press up through our plank to our down dog. Send the hips up and back behind. We'll pedal the legs out. We'll swivel the hips around. We'll find a little bit of twisting in the lower spine. And then we'll slide the hands about a hand's distance closer towards the toes, adding more of a bend to the knees so we can bring the abdomen closer towards the thighs. Now from here you may be able to lengthen the legs a little longer, you may not, but we're focusing on long spine. So really pressing into the hands, press the ground away from the body. And then we'll start to shift further forward so that our shoulders come over our wrists. We'll rock forward onto our tippy toes so we can bend the knees. And then we'll hover the knees over the mat for a bear pose, pressing the ground away more. So our shoulder blades should be pretty far away from each other. Now we'll drop the knees the rest of the way down and walk the knees out towards the outer edges of our mat. Bring the big toes in to touch or to point at each other. And we'll slide our left hand underneath of the chest. With a nice big breath in, we'll reach our right arm up towards the sky. Now bring your thumb over towards your pinky finger. And we'll wrap the other fingers around the thumb and find some circles of the wrist in one direction. And then we'll circle the wrist around in the other direction. We'll release the fingers, spread them out wide, wiggle them around, and then we're going to thread the needle. So sending our right hand as far towards the left side as we can before we bring our shoulder and side of face down. Now we can gently press into our left hand to help us twist a little more. Or we can soften the chest towards our left bicep, towards our right bicep, and circle our left arm around to open up more through that right shoulder blade and the top of the back. Whichever variation we're in, we'll start to slide our left hand back underneath of our left shoulder. Press into the earth. Unthread the right arm, reach the right arm up to the sky, and we'll bring it down. Take a full in and out breath cycle to reset. And then we'll move our right hand underneath of the chest. With a big breath in, we'll send the left arm up towards the sky. Bring the left thumb over towards the pinky finger. Wrap the other fingers around. Circle the wrist out in one direction. And then around in the other direction. Release all the fingers, wiggle them out, and then we'll thread the left fingers as far to the right side of the mat as we can before we bring the shoulder and side of face down. Now finding whatever variation we took on the other side, whether that's bringing the chest closer towards the floor or pressing the right hand into the earth to open the chest further. Now again, we'll slide our right hand in closer towards the body to unthread the left arm, reach the left arm up, and then we'll bring it down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath of the hips. With our in-breath, we'll slide the eyes up the wall in front of us, pressing our chest forward between our arms and turning our hips up. With our exhale, we'll press into the hands, arching up through the spine, tucking the hips under and the chin to the chest. We'll move back and forth with our cat-cows, moving at a pace that feels good to you or moving with your breath. Good. Going back to our tabletop, we'll walk the hands one step further out in front of where they were before. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up towards the sky, down dog. We'll lengthen our left leg up and back behind. And then we'll bend at the knee, draw knee to nose as we shift forward. And step the left foot towards the top of our mat, finding our runner's lunge here. We'll bring a full breath in to lengthen the spine. And our exhale to soften the hips slightly. Now we'll drop our right knee down to the mat, untuck the toes. We'll circle our left hand to the inside of our left leg and find our lizard pose. So we can start to heel toe our left foot out further away from the hands. Or we can roll to the pinky side edge of the foot. We'll press the chest forward, send the hips towards the top of the mat, and take a little bit of time here. Now there is always an option to lift the back leg up off the mat instead, or to drop down to forearms. But find a pose that's comfortable for you and your body today, while still getting a nice deep stretch. Pressing into the left foot, we'll start to walk the hands in slightly to give us space. We're going to pick up our right toes and turn them towards the left side of our mat. So our legs are now kind of perpendicular, they're kind of crossed. And we'll turn our chest towards the right side of the mat. Now reaching our left leg nice and straight towards the top of our mat. Chest is over towards the right side. We'll reach our right hand up and over the body and then send it towards the top of the mat to get a big side stretch here. Breathing into the right side body. Focusing on that right lung. With our in-breath, we'll lift the chest back up. Now, pressing into our left foot. Chest is still open towards the right side of the mat, but we're going to shift to bend further into our left knee. So now we're kind of stretching the insides of both legs. You can connect elbow to knee if you'd like to help with the balance. And then we're going to flow back and forth with the breath. Exhale, lengthen that front leg towards straight. Reach the arm up and over the body towards the top of the mat. With our inhale, lift through center. Exhale to press the hips towards the top of the mat. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale to reach towards the top of the mat. Straight front leg. Inhale to lift back through center. Exhale to press the hips towards the top of the mat. Bend to the left. And again, we'll move back and forth a few times. And we'll come back up to a more neutral, natural placement in your body. And from here, we're going to find our half gate pose. So our left toes that are at the top of the mat, we're going to pick up and pivot towards our right side mat. So the toes are in the same direction as our chest, towards the side of our mat. We'll drop the hands down in front of the body and then walk them just a little bit further forward. And we're going to find a forward and back shifting motion. So bringing the chest out past the fingertips. And then pressing the hips behind the body, finding length through the back. Good. Walk the hands back in towards the body. And then we're going to walk the hands around towards the top of the mat. Frame out our left foot. Lift our right knee up off the mat. Back to our runner's lunge. Press into the feet. Inhale to our crescent lunge. Lift the arms up over the body. And then maybe we'll find a baby back bend here. We've got a nice big bend in our left knee, little bend in our right. Take a few deep breaths. And with our exhale, we'll circle the hands back down to frame out the left foot, pick up the left leg, send it up and back behind. Three-legged dog. To our down dog. Take some time, wiggle it out. And then we'll lengthen our right leg up and back behind. Bend at the knee, draw knee to nose. Shift forward. Set the right foot down. Full breath in to find length. Exhale to soften the hips slightly. We'll drop our left knee down. Circle the right hand to the inside of our right leg. Back to our lizard pose on this side. So we can walk that foot towards the outer edge of our mat. We can roll to the pinky edge of the foot. But we're pressing the hips forward and trying to keep the chest long, the chest lifted, by pressing the chest forward. Good. We'll start to shift back slightly, pressing into the bottom of our right foot. And then we'll lift our left foot up off the mat, turn it towards our side mat, lift up on the body. We'll find that long, straight right leg with the toes off the top of the mat. We'll reach our left hand, Up and over the body towards the top of the mat. Finding our side stretch on this side. Breathing into that left side body, focusing on the lung. Fully filling the chest with air and allowing that breath to deepen the stretch. With our next in-breath, we'll float the body back up. Slide the foot in slightly. And now keeping the chest open towards the left side of the mat, we'll shift towards the top of the mat. Putting a nice big bend into the right knee. We can connect right elbow to right knee to help hold us here. We'll take a little bit of time in this stretch. And now we're going to move back and forth with our breath again. Inhale to float the body back up. Exhale to lengthen that right leg and reach the left hand up and over. Inhale to float back up. Exhale to press towards the top of the mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale to center. Exhale to lunge. And I'll just keep flowing back and forth. And then we'll come back through center again. Now we'll lengthen our right leg again, but pick up the toes, wiggle them out, and turn them towards our left side mat. So the toes are now pointing in the same direction as our chest. We'll hinge and drop the hands down and then walk them one step out in front of the chest. We'll find that forward and back, shifting motion. Really pressing the hips back. And then the shoulders forward. Good, we'll come back to a more neutral placement. Walk the hands in towards the body. We'll pivot the toes around towards the top of the mat as we start to walk around. Frame out our right foot with the hands. We'll tuck our left toes under back to our runner's lunge. And then with our inhale, we'll lift the upper body, send the arms to the sky. Big bend in the right, little bend in the left knee. Crescent lunge. Maybe we'll start to lift the chest a little bit higher and slide the eyes up the wall in front of you. With our next exhale, we'll hinge, circle the hands around, frame out the right foot, pick it up, send it up and back behind, three-legged dog, to our down dog. We'll walk the legs a little further apart, add more of a bend to the knees, really press the hips up and back behind the body. And then we'll drop the knees down towards the outer edges of the mat. Untuck the toes, press the hips back behind, soften the chest towards the mat, and find our wide-legged child's pose. We'll start to lift back up, walk the hands in in towards the body. And bring the legs in closer towards each other so we can sit up on the heels. We're gonna tuck all of the toes under. And then again, sit back on the heels. Stretching out the plantar fascia along the bottoms of the feet. We'll reach our right arm out in front of the chest and then reach it over towards the left top edge of our mat. We'll bring our left arm out in front and gently bring that right arm closer towards the body as we open up through the top of the back through our right shoulder blade. Slowly release the added pressure. Reach the left arm out in front. Bring it over towards the right side of the mat. Circle the right arm around. Draw both arms in towards the chest. Release the added pressure. Bring the hands down in front of the body. Walk them another step forward. We'll tuck the toes back under. Send the hips up and back for our down dog. We'll start to walk the hands one step closer towards the toes. Press the hips up and back. We'll walk the hands another step closer towards the toes. Press the hips up and back. And we'll walk the hands the rest of the way in towards the body. Inhale for a halfway lift. Nice flat tabletop back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we'll reverse swan dive the arms. Reach us up to the sky. Exhale to our cactus. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale, we'll bring hands to heart center. Or we'll bring our hands to our side in our mountain pose. We'll take another large breath in through the nose. And find a few more sips of air at the top. And let it go as an open mouth sigh. We'll do one more breath like that. Breathing in through the nose. A few more sips of air at the top. And an open mouth sigh to let it go. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.